where the Shadow Brexit Secretary, Labour Sir Keir Starmer, is speaking.
About tearing up the values that bind us together, both as a trade union movement, a labour movement, but actually across the country. The values they're tearing up: tolerance, a Prime Minister who favours division over unity. His whole strategy is based on division. Dignity, equality, our values, internationalism and solidarity. These mean nothing to Johnson. He is taking us down a right-wing Trumpian road, and this is a serious moment for everybody in our movement and across the country, because everybody has to ask themselves at this moment, which side are you on in this battle? And that's why we worked so hard over the summer on a cross-party basis, and with Jeremy Corbyn bringing together the opposition leaders. This is not easy, but over the summer we brought everybody together onto one page, with one plan, with collective intent, purpose and discipline. The intent and the purpose was to stop a no-deal Brexit and to pass a law to do that, and we succeeded in that last week. And so the position now is, if no deal is passed, and it looks unlikely, and if Boris Johnson can't get Parliament to vote for no deal, and that doesn't seem likely, he must seek an extension to Article 50. He does not have authority to crash us out of the EU on the 31st of October without a deal. And that is a huge collective coming together across Parliament to achieve that. And do not underestimate the role that Jeremy Corbyn played in bringing those forces together and instilling that collective way to go forward at this political moment. Our legal advice is clear. The Prime Minister must comply with the law. That shouldn't really be an issue. The fact we're even talking about it speaks volumes. So what I say to the Prime Minister is this: accept that Parliament has spoken, accept you don't have a mandate for a no-deal Brexit, and follow the law. It shouldn't have taken an act of Parliament to spell all that out. It shouldn't have required us to take control of proceedings and pass a law. It shouldn't have required a humble address, which was sort of buried years ago without anybody paying much attention to it, or ancient procedures. The fact that we've had to resort to those processes tells you everything you need to know about Boris Johnson. He thought that by announcing that he would shut down Parliament, he would stop us, he would prevent us from doing what we've done. Actually, it had the opposite effect. I can tell you over the summer there were lots of discussions about precisely when we should take the necessary steps, with some people saying week 1, which was me, others saying no, week 2, week 3. And we had a discussion, a proper, full discussion, as you'd expect. The moment Boris Johnson then said he was shutting down Parliament, everybody agreed we'd do it last week in 4 days. It was incredible the way that he unified the opposition to himself and caused the very thing he didn't want. He now thinks, and you saw the scenes earlier this week, that by shutting down Parliament, he will silence us. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Just as we worked during the summer to achieve what we did last week and early this week, we will work each and every day of this shutdown to enforce the law, to defeat Johnson and to bring him down. Prime Minister, you can hide from Parliament all you like, but when you return, we will be ready for you. Because, Congress, don't mistake the seriousness of the situation that we're in. Your General Counsel statement was explicit. Quotes, "No deal would be a disaster for working people." It cuts right across the very rights and protections that mean so much to this movement. UK workers and trade unions would be unable to enforce their rights, those rights that are enforced on a daily basis for you and your members and so many other people. Employment rights, environmental rights, consumer rights will begin to lag behind the standards across Europe. And there will be no level playing field. And we know where that leads. That leads to deregulation, division, and exploitation. That is exactly where that leads. Of course, there are wider consequences of a no-deal Brexit, well known in this room. The devastation.
Well, just